Hey everybody. So I've tried to go live actually several times. I'm trying to stick you in my purse here because it's way too nice to sit inside anywhere. And so I'm up here in Los Alamos. This is a little city park. And I mean, it's just absolutely glorious. Look, I mean, you can see the blue sky. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky, and there's no wind. But anyway, like I said, I've tried to go live several times now with, it just won't pick up for some reason. And I don't know what that's about. Anyway, so welcome to Making Sense of Sense. And today I wanted to talk about essential oils and migraines. So before going any further, just know that a migraine is a digestive issue. Yeah, you heard me. I'll say that again. A migraine is a digestive issue. It came to mind to, there's children playing around me, so if I apologize if I'm distracted. So it came to mind when I overheard a conversation the other day. It was in a spa, massage clinic, and I guess it was the owner or somebody was saying, I could overhear a conversation, but they were really struggling with migraines and taking all kinds of medication and still always being nauseous to the point of having to pull over. And so I stuck my head in the door. They didn't know me, but I was waiting for them patiently. And pardon me for all the arranging here. I'm just trying, I guess I'll just hold it. Anyway, so I stuck my head in the door and I excused myself for eavesdropping and proceeded to give her a suggestion, which is to drink fresh ginger root tea every single day. Whether it's not about preventing or thwarting. I should say it's not about thwarting when you feel a migraine coming on. It's about preventing them. Okay. Now, fresh ginger root tea may do it for some people. In her case, I doubt it, but she didn't give me permission to make any other suggestions because she went on to tell me that somebody also told her that cream of tartar under the tongue would be a good remedy. I don't know about that. What I can tell you though is in ginger root actually helps to regulate serotonin and acetylcholine levels in the gut, which is essential for helping with digestion, bowel movements, and preventing that spike, that serotonin spike that is what's attributed to a migraine. So although I know some of us feel it in the head, we get foggy headed, sometimes there is pain, there's visual issues, there's auditory issues, but think about it, nausea, vomiting, it's a digestive issue, hands down. And another reason I say that is because the digestive system is responsible for breaking down our macronutrients, as you know, and helping the body improve its use of better utilize these macronutrients for a balanced hormonal production. And so that's it. When the stress response has been activated, it diminishes our digestive process. But keep in mind that's supposed to be a temporary thing. It's not meant to go 24/7. So yet we live on planet Earth. There's no question that emotionally we are taxed. We're pulling at straws here. So it's no wonder that we're seeing, depression, anxiety, migraines. It's no question we're seeing all these issues because the body is chronically stressed. And when that happens, depending on your unique nature, meaning your epigenome, whatever manifests is what it's going to manifest. In this case, we're talking about migraines, okay? And this goes for any type of migraine. This is not just one type. It's because there's obviously different categories or classifications of a migraine. So you want to drink fresh ginger root tea without question. And I would just, 1 to 2 cups a day. I've done this with several clients and miraculously they stopped getting migraines. I say miraculously, they were pleased with the miracle, the miracle remedy. But that's the reason why I recommend it. It also supports the digestion when it helps to break down the fats, which is necessary for hormonal production. Additionally, you could use ginger root essential oil. But I also recommend avoiding bitter orange. You want to avoid those two in particular, especially if you're using antidepressants with the bitter orange. But regardless, the reason I say that is those two have a very significant influence on serotonin levels. And so until the serotonin levels become regular, and so this also goes if you have IBS. Okay, so if you have IBS, you really want to avoid those as well until things become stabilized. Up until a month ago, during 2020, I spent most of the year with a family member who had been having some serious health issues, and it was so emotionally stressful because it was I did it because it was family. But then again, I made that step just before the pandemic hit, and then I was essentially kind of sheltering in place, and then helping him get his health issues situated. And it was a 10-month ordeal. In the meantime, I'm dealing with my own health issues, but the challenge that I faced was I had migraines. I had serious migraines. I had serious digestive issues, but since leaving and continuing on with what I know, things have improved to the degree that there's no migraines, there's no digestive bloating or anything like that. But again, like I said, but to really protect yourself until the system is stable. So yes, getting out of an emotionally taxing situation is critical to stabilizing the body. Absolutely critical. And so this is where it becomes difficult for people. And I was talking about this with my son the other day when it comes to obligation. And we have this really drastic attachment to, well, this is family, therefore I'm obligated. And the only sense of obligation that I've ever felt, and it really wasn't even obligation, it was a commitment, was to my kids, making sure they had a roof, they had food, they had clothes. That was my commitment. But beyond that, I don't want to operate in obligation. And this 2020 for me was an act of obligation because I was the daughter. So, and I say this with all due respect because it's very difficult for us to unravel ourselves from this sense of obligation. And oftentimes this is what's contributing to our pain. So until we can become radically honest about that for ourselves, and it's not about making anybody else wrong or making ourselves wrong. In fact, the forgiveness chant that I've developed in order to begin to restore peace within my body, within my mind, because our emotions are reactions to our thoughts. So the second I find myself, and I know this is not talking about oils, but I just feel drawn to say this today, so maybe somebody was meant to hear this. But the forgiveness statement that I've developed is this: I forgive you for choosing actions. Let me back up a minute. I forgive you for making choices that were not in alignment with love. And in that statement, it doesn't make the other person bad or wrong. And in fact, and if I had a reaction to whatever they did, because whatever they did is perfectly okay, right? This is learning how to practice radical acceptance. Yeah, I like the word radical. It's revolutionary. It's a revised way of going through life. And so in order to be radically accepting of all of life, we have to be able to forgive. And that's my forgiveness chant, which is, I forgive you for making choices that were not in alignment with love. And again, when I have a reaction to something, I'm clearly not in alignment with love. I'm in alignment with fear. So in that sense, I'm forgiving both of us. And it brings so much peace to us. And so that's one way of really de-escalating the emotions and helping to restore stability in the system. Some people like to call it balance. I like the word stability because to me the body's always in balance. We have to understand that it's operating as it's designed to. It's not doing what we think it should be doing because it's reacting to our emotions and it's reacting to the environment. So until you get to that point of stability, there will be some oils that you will need to avoid, as I said, to prevent a migraine. And bitter orange is one of them. Petitgrain is another one. I'm looking down because there is that sunlight glaring off, but at the same time I'm trying to think of any other oil that I would strongly encourage you to avoid. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely put it in the comments. I do want to stop here and just say that this, to me, is meant to be a dialogue, not a monologue. So your questions and your comments are critically valuable to me. So please be sure to make comments and ask questions. I'm here for you to, I'm here to help you. So back to oils that we should be using or would benefit us safely to mix with medications that will prevent the onset of a migraine. And that would be, like I said, ginger root tea, fresh ginger root. Okay, not the powder, but actually fresh ground up ginger root. And you just make it to the strength that you can tolerate. And then you can also use the ginger root essential oil. Another really safe one to be using would be palmarosa. Oh, goodness. I'm looking for, because what we're looking to do is help. So I would go for, rosemary verbone. Because of its 1,8, it does have 1,8 CNL, but it also has alpha pinene in it. And you know what? I would also go for frankincense. That said, so that and then rosemary helps with the digestion. It supports the liver. So the rosemary verbone is safe for most people. What I mean by that is it doesn't contain. It contains a small amount of camphor, but it's easy on the system for children and the elderly. Gosh, I'm just thinking now. I mean, my head's racing and I just need to kind of rein it back in. So the 4 oils that I recommend for prevention of a migraine is ginger root, rosemary verbone, palmarosa, and frankincense. Frankincense, Katari. Those are the ones because of the alpha pinene, which supports acetylcholine use, the 1,8 CNL, and because it supports nitric oxide, and the more nitric oxide the body produces, the less histamine is being released and produced and released, I should say, which is paramount in the gut. I would also take quercetin. Begin taking quercetin on a daily basis. Again, because quercetin also cuts down on the histamine in the gut. Keep in mind you have to stick with it, okay? The one thing about healing, I want to say this. So if you've got migraines, we've become such a culture of I want it fixed right now. And again, so I'm always looking for ways to help you thwart while stabilizing the body. Okay, so thwart an issue while stabilizing the body. That's really very important to me. At the same time, there's more going on in the body than just than just a migraine. Like I said, first of all, it's a digestive issue. And my guess is there's actually more going on in your system than just a migraine. So, it's going to take a while. How long? That's a question I get asked a lot. It really depends on your diligence, and it really, I don't want to throw age into this, but the longer we've been on the planet, it does take some undoing. It's kind of like Lao Tzu used to talk about, write about, and it's still, it's Wu Wei, it's non-force, okay? So it's about an unlearning and undoing, and right now the body is really wrapped up in survival mode, and so the only way to undo the changes that have occurred in the system is to work with it, not try to control it, but work with it. And this is the reason why I gave you that selection of oils, because it supports the production of glutathione, it supports the liver, it supports the GI tract, okay? which is gonna and it actually supports hormonal production. So there's a whole realm right there of a more holistic approach, as opposed to just trying to control one thing. Okay, because it's a system upset. It's not just a migraine. So in order to heal from this, we have to be willing to allow the body to undo what's been done, and take pleasure in the relief that we're experiencing. It does take some time. This is the part of revolutionary aromatherapy that I'm excited about, but a lot of people they don't want to wrap their heads around, or it's difficult to wrap their head around. And that is that it does take time for the body to reset itself. It doesn't mean that we can't relieve the symptoms, but it's a co-creation of wellness between our mind, right? The way we manage our mind and the way we work with the body, as opposed to controlling the body. And that's the whole point of this. We work with the system. So when I talk about having to change out oils, at some point the oils that I recommended will no longer be of, you're going to want to change them out, because the system is adapting according to the instructions you're giving it. And so we follow that system. Okay, and this is the benefit of joining even into the membership site, because there can be real-time guidance as to what's next. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't have to be a daily thing. It doesn't have to be a weekly thing. It could be just, but there's always going to be changes that you're going to notice. Something's going to work one day and the next day it's not. So learning to work with this system keeps the momentum going, and it actually takes us closer to being healed and well, because the body's perfectly capable of healing itself if we give it the instructions it needs. Because currently the instructions it's receiving is warning, Will Robinson. There's red flags everywhere. It's in survival mode. So the tips I gave you about the forgiveness is essential to helping to restore peace, because keep in mind, there's ease and then there's dis-ease, and dis-ease simply means a lack of ease. So when we can become more forgiving of ourselves and of others, and we can develop that radical acceptance of everything's okay, and my body, accepting the condition as it is, that this is just nature. This is the nature of nature, which is survival. Okay, we have the brilliant ability to work with it, partner with it, and claim something that is our birthright, which is wellness, which is health. And if you're taking medications, that's okay. There's just a different way to use oils at that point. So working with the system is critical. Having real-time guidance, and if you check it out, go check out the membership on Patreon. I'll have that link here, and you're welcome to join at any level you want. But like I said, depending on what you got going on, you can have more real-time guidance. Can you hear these geese? That's so funny. There's these big white geese that came out of the water, and they're actually wanting to be pet by the humans. Now, if that's not, oh my God, how can I do this? How can I show you this? I can't do it. They're over there. Can you see that? It just was so cool. They came out asking for food. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to put that out there. If I've forgotten anything, or if I left anything out that you've wanted, you think I should have talked more about, again, comment. It's so easily to be distracted on a nice spring day, but I really wanted to join you and let you know that I get you. I understand migraines. I really, really do. I was, if you have never seen me before, my name is Tammy. This is my life's work. My life's work is to dispel the belief that poor health is it's to dispel the myth about health, which is health is our birthright, and we have that ability when we work with it. And since I can recall, since I can recall running around as a young child, I've lived with IBS, serious pains. I've been struggling with, anxiety was a big thing. Addiction was another one. So I'm very familiar with the mental and physical aspects of the things that we're challenged with. And I promote these oils because although we like to think that we have, and we do have that ability to actually use our mind to heal ourselves, it is within our ability. But sometimes when we've been so conditioned by the world and we're so attached to what other people think and say, using the oils not only helps to rectify the symptoms, it actually helps us to unravel ourselves from the grip of culture, so that we can begin to heal in the way that our body needs to heal. And when I say heal naturally, I mean naturally in our own way. Again, medications are fine. If you're taking medications, it just requires a different approach to using oils. But it doesn't mean that you can't use oils. So I'm going to call it there. These geese are so cool. This pond is just incredible. I'll give you one more look. It's an amazing place to be. Anyway, you guys take care. I will see you next week.